Um, and it's with my sister in Christ, Evangelist Naomi Glee. You'll hear her in a second to bring me in. So just stay stationary for a moment. And
That's right. That's right. Many of y'all know we are always in a process. The process. I tell you what, through processes. All right, you're tuned in live right here on the KFWF 24/7 broadcast with yours truly, the King's daughter, Naomi. Listen, we getting ready to go live here shortly. But I love that song, The Process. That is Jay Bellamy, Jacob Bellamy. Listen, we was in Washington State together. That's the guy that did my first project. Awesome, awesome producer. And I thank him so much for my first album that came out. So, but listen, without further ado, we're going to bring on our special guest today. We have none other than the psalmist herself. I'm telling you, this woman knows she can sing. My goodness. Valencia Brown, Apostle Valencia Brown, how you doing?
I'm blessed, my sister. Thank you for having me once again.
And listen, I'm telling you, it is always a privilege and an honor to have you. I'm gonna have to have that introduction again because for some reason, like I said, look like the enemy get busy.
Oh yeah, you know he doing his part. So now we got to do
Oh,
our part.
come on now. He get busy. He get busy. I'm like, what is really going on
Hmm.
here? I thought I had this thing mastered.
It's well. It is well.
Man, it's real. I'm telling you, wow, what is really going on? I don't know if my cord got so. God bless you. You there?
I'm here.
Okay, there it is. Okay, it's got a little bit of a shortage to it. Listen, listening audience, we got with us none other than the Apostle Valencia Brown herself. Listen, how you doing, Apostle?
All is well. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, I tell you what, it's a privilege and an honor. It's a privilege and an honor. And I tell you, I want you to tell the listening audience a little bit about who you are. Give us a little background. Who is the Apostle Valencia Brown?
I can surely do that. First and foremost, I just thank God for just the heights and highlights of my life. But I have to go back to my humble beginnings, which is at the age of 14, is when I really discovered that I had a voice and that I can actually write as a songwriter. And I presented it to my uncle, which is my mom's brother, her baby brother at that, the last of the bunch, because my grandmother had 12 children. So he was the last of the bunch. However, he groomed me as far as to start in the music industry overall. And so, of course, since that was my mom's brother, she entrusted him with taking care of me when I had to go out, as far as to do interviews or performances or studio time. He covered everything, even when it came down to, doing photo shoots and all of that. So that's my humble beginnings. So fast forward, I would actually, and by the way, when I started out, I was not singing gospel, people of God. I started
Oh,
out
okay.
in R&B and hip hop. And so God basically saw fit to pull me back into his bosom and start singing for him. So that
Wow.
started, as far as after, not long after I had my daughter, which was back in 1999. And at that time I was singing with a female group. It's four of us. I'm the youngest that was out of that group. And so all of us have church background. We all grew up in church, but we were taking that path of R&B and hip hop. But God basically drew us in to shift and start singing for Him. So we started, singing for the glory of God. Stayed together for almost 15 years, and then we decided to just go our separate ways.
Hold on,
Excuse me.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me interrupt you a little bit here.
Yes.
Listen. Wow. You started at 14
I started at 14.
and you were actually going out singing and your uncle was your management, I guess, back then.
Yes.
Give us a clue. How that look? How was that?
It was amazing. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know nothing about the industry. He was the one that first and foremost taught me the music side of it. He taught me a little business, but the business came later once I got with the female group. Because at that time we had two managers with the female group, and it was one of the girls in the group, her husband and her brother, that managed
Wow.
us. So we had basically a duo team. One basically
Mhm.
dealt with the logistics of the business side, and then the other manager dealt with our booking and physicality and just making sure that we looked the part. So when I
Okay.
was with my uncle, he was just the only go-to person I had. He was my manager. He was my producer. He basically, you might well say he was partially my vocal coach. Although
Right.
he's not a singer, he has a very keen ear. So he knew
That's
what,
cool.
yeah, he knew what I needed to sound like when I was
Hmm.
recording. So,
Right.
so he acted as everything that I needed in one person.
Wow. So
Yes,
let me ask you this. So can you honestly say that back then that when you were singing, you was just singing because you loved to sing. So that had a part in being really successful at that back then because you didn't know the business.
I didn't know the business. You're right. I had just a passion for singing. Never knew that I was gonna have a passion because, um, truth be told, I really, really didn't discover my voice until I sung my first lead song at church in the youth choir at age 13.
Wow.
That's when
This is what I was going to say. This is the point I'm trying to make. A lot of we need to get back to just singing because we love to sing.
I
That
get
is
it.
powerful.
It
That's
is.
powerful. When
It
I meet
is.
singers, it's like stop with all the business stuff. Just do what you came to sing.
Yes. Yes.
And
Because
you
the
can
business,
just think of that when you're doing the business and the music. Just forget the handle the business, but let it go, and then get back to doing what you enjoy doing. That
yeah,
was my point. But go ahead.
yes. And I agree. I agree with you. Because I actually, when I first got into it, of course, yeah, I didn't know anything on the business side. wasn't even
Right.
thinking. I wasn't even thinking about it. Didn't care if I had, anybody that
Exactly.
wanted to book me through my uncle. He just more so just was trying to get me out there, make sure that I was visible and I was heard. That was his goal, his mo. Like he really wasn't
Right.
looking. I don't even think he was looking at the money side either. He was just trying to basically get
Right.
me visible to the people, and it was more so just in my state, because I'm in South Florida, and
Right.
of course everybody think a whole bunch of stuff pops off in Miami on the music side. It doesn't.
Mm.
You really got to venture out if you're really taking this serious as a career.
Wow.
So everything that he was doing, it was local. So when I was with my uncle, I did not travel outside of Florida at all. Mind
Right.
you, I was nothing but 14 when I started. So my mom, of course, she wasn't gonna probably allow that anyway, because I was still in school. She wanted me to stay focused on, my education and stuff like that, which that's understood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, a part of me want to say what you were saying back
What
then.
I was
No,
singing,
no, but move on.
it was songs that I actually wrote because I wrote my own music, and then my uncle, I brought it
Oh,
to
okay.
him, and then he heard the melodies, and that's how he worked around producing each song.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Hmm.
Okay, and fast forward, you got in the girl group, and go ahead, finish telling me.
We got in the girl group, and that was basically I was at age 21, maybe I probably was earlier than that.
Wow.
that I got with the
Wow.
girl group, and I met them through my uncle
Oh, okay.
because he knew one of the girls in the group, and he actually brought her into the studio one day for us to record on a song together. And then she heard my voice, and she started asking me, "You ever sung with a group before?" And I said no, because I always was a solo artist. So she invited me, as far as to one of their rehearsals, and then the rest is history. That's how it went.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's good. So you started off doing music at a young age. What about
young
before 14? Was you singing back then too?
in the choir. That was it. In the youth choir, in the children's choir. So
Right.
it goes all the way back to maybe when I first really started getting, like using my voice. Was it age 10 maybe in the
Right.
children's choir, and then once I had reached the youth choir, I was at the age of 13. So then that's when I led my first song in the youth choir, and then it went from there, and then I ended up getting into the adult choir. Then I ended up being a part of the praise team, and so then I actually started being a, so to speak, not a mentor to the youth that was in the church under me that was coming up, but I was allowed as far as to be one of the teachers that was helping one of the other ministers in the church that was over the youth at that time during the youth Bible study.
Right. So what
Yeah.
was the first song you sung at 13?
At 13, it is an old song but a goodie, and I
Uh-huh.
believe I believe I'm gonna remake that song because I have not heard anybody remake it, and it's a
Oh,
choir
okay.
song. It's called "No, It's Not I."
No, it's not I.
Yep,
Oh,
it's an
yeah.
old
Okay.
song. I forgot the name of the
No,
choir
it's not.
and
Oh,
everything,
okay.
but I can go and pull it up as far as to find out the name of the actual choir who actually did the song, and it was a female that led the song.
Oh, you want to give us a little bit of
Sure.
it? Glory.
Lord, okay. Let me see if I can remember because that was so far back.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay.
13 years old. It's
Yeah,
your
yeah, it
13
was
year old.
13. Okay. I wonder why I smile through tears, how I walk through fears, Lord Jesus. Then I wonder how I lend a hand to my fellow man. Oh Lord, you know these things we can do of ourselves. We can do them only with the help of Jesus. It's not I, but
Mm.
the Christ that lives in me. No, 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 no. No, it's not I, but
Mm.
the Christ that lives in me.
Beautiful. My goodness. I got chills.
Look at you.
I got chills. Oh my God.
So imagine my
Wow.
little voice at 13.
Wow. 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 That's
Yes.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. You have such an amazing voice.
Thank you. To God be
Wow.
the glory.
Wow. So when did this Kairos worship start?
Kairos started, fast forward, 2019 is
Okay.
when God dropped that in me to bring it forth. And so I brought a live recording of it in Miami at a church that I actually used to do praise and worship for. The pastor
Mm.
allowed me to utilize his sanctuary to do my live recording. So I enveloped a band, enveloped a background vocals, enveloped a dance team. It was like the whole shebang, and then I had, of course, guests that I
Right.
brought in. A actual trumpet player. Oh my God,
Mm.
anointed trumpet player that came
My
in.
God.
Um, and we're still connected today. I just haven't spoken or seen him in since then. And then also I a dear sister of mine who has gone to be with the Lord. She came as far as in dance with me. Basically, did a solo dance for me.
Right.
She was like my go-to person. She was known as Monica Love out of Deerfield. A very anointed vessel. It was a tragic accident
Mm.
that took her life, and I got to basically have her dance for me the last time back in 2021 was when I
Wow.
did another night of worship, as well as I did a workshop called I Am Worship, and that was the last time I actually encountered her. So they were my guests. I basically had the lighting, all that stuff, everything that you would need for a live recording. The only reason why I did not ever release it is because the engineering was not done to the best of my ability of what I needed it to sound like. So
Right.
that's why I never released it.
Mm.
And that was pretty much it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
once I
Wow.
did that, I just sat it down, and I went forward with doing. I picked it back up in 2022. So that was 2019. So I put it down. I picked it back up in 2022 and started doing it on a every third Monday, and that was at another church that I was doing praise and worship for. The pastor allowed me to do my sessions on Mondays, and it was every third Monday. Now, fast forward under the great Apostle Larry C. Mackey for Refuge Worship Center. God brought me
Yes.
with him finally.
Who those people is again?
Uh, Great Apostle Larry C. Mackey of Refuge Worship Center.
Yes.
Y'all better know it. Y'all better respect his name. And so,
And that's with the Kingdom International Alliance. Don't forget our
don't
pastor,
forget,
Kia.
Kia, my God,
Amen.
great group of
Come
people.
on now.
Great group of people.
Amen.
So when I basically
Yes.
came and God allowed me to finally connect with Apostle Mackey last year, September, is when we had started Kairos worship back up in 2024.
Amen.
So it's been going on ever since, but we changed it from every third Monday to every third Saturday.
Right.
So here we
So
are.
So let's do a little teaching, just a little bit of teaching. I love, love, love the confidence in your voice when you're doing your Kairos work. It is amazing. I'm like,
Amen.
wow. Talk about that.
Oh my God. It's
Where
not,
does that come from?
man. I mean, this